Hello and welcome to another episode of intelliTALKS. My guest for today is my good friend Lisa from Getida. Lisa, how are you?
I am doing so well. Thank you so much for having me. I'm very excited about this episode.
Super, Lisa. Also, I'm excited to have you because I know you've been cooking something very nice there in the Getida oven, how it's called. So I'm sure that everyone is eager to find out some very, very nice things about what they can do on their side and the Amazon business. And so far, Getida has been out on the market for a lot of time. Maybe you can give us some insights on that and let everyone know who Getida is and what Getida is doing. I'm sure people know, but just for
just in case they don't know.
Just in case,
Absolutely. My name is Lisa Kinskey. I'm the Marketing and Partnerships Manager of Getida, and Getida is the global leader in Amazon FBA auditing and reimbursements. So we've been in business. This is our 8th year in business. We started in 2015. And what we do is we actually help sellers to identify discrepancies with their FBA inventory and actually file claims on their behalf with Amazon to get them reimbursed through Amazon's quite impressive and generous FBA reimbursement program. So not only do we have a state-of-the-art dashboard and patented technology to identify these discrepancies in near real time, but we're also filing the claims on behalf of the sellers to help with the efficiency and the efficacy of those claim closures, which has led to part of our success of having the highest recovery rate in the industry. It also has a little bit to do with our claims team, which are ex-Amazonians, so they know how to read between the lines, ask the questions. But that's in short what Getida is doing. We are helping sellers to maximize their profitability and maximize the refunds and also minimize those FBA fees.
Yeah, and also keeping an eye on the ball for every Amazon seller out there, because I see it myself. I'm an Amazon seller and we have a lot of inventory coming in.
Yeah.
And sometimes Amazon just goes with some missing inventory, and if you don't keep your eyes on the ball, you might miss that. So definitely
that's the most common claim type that we see. So what would be called an inbound shipment claim type. And that's about 40% of the claim types that we see. There's nearly 30. There's about 28 claim types that exist. So almost 30, and 40% of those are inbound shipments. And what would an example of that be? That would be, shipping in 1,000 units to Amazon and they only receive 900. Jeff Bezos is not going to call you and say, "Hey, Marcel, I got 900 of your 1,000. Have an awesome Thursday." No, it is the seller's responsibility to regularly audit their account and find any of those discrepancies, like between units expected and units received. If they're still receiving the shipment, that's cool. But if it is either in receiving for too long, I spoke to a seller yesterday and it had been in receiving and for 5 months, that something's wrong. Something's happening there. But especially if the shipment is closed and it says expected 1,900 received, then you know that you need to open up a claim with Amazon. And then what they'll do on their end is investigate that. And they'll either say, "Whoops, sorry, found your box over in a corner. Let me apply that to your inventory." And you'll be able to sell that product. It'll be applied to your account. Or they'll say, "Hey, so sorry, I lost it," or "It was accidentally included in a destroyal order," something like that. So they will actually reimburse you the list price of the product minus the FBA fees. But it's as though you sold the product, and it's a double win because you didn't have to pay the PPC to sell that product. So it's a really generous program that they have. And one of the most common questions that we get is like, well, why does this happen in the first place? Like, if they're going to reimburse me for it, why did they lose it? Some people think that Amazon has some ulterior motives or are doing some nefarious things. And that's just not the case. Y'all think about how much product is flying in and out of those buildings every single day. Things are going to get lost. Machines make mistakes. Humans make mistakes. But they're really making good on their promise to reimburse the seller and help make them more profitable through this program. You just have to do the legwork to find the discrepancies and file the claim so that they will reimburse you.
So that's incredible. Just to let's say sum up, what is an actual FBA discrepancy? Is this a difference between what you're sending and what you're getting? And
that's essentially it. It's at its core, it's the definition of a discrepancy, right? So difference between the data that you're showing on your side as the seller and what Amazon has. And that can be in your inventory, your inbound, the example I just gave. That could be with the weights and dimensions of your product. If you are shipping in, let's say I have this lovely little ceramic llama that I keep my binder clips in. and there's one cubic scanner that will scan the box vertically and another one gets it horizontally or something. I don't know. And sometimes the dimensions of your product can be logged incorrectly in Amazon's system, causing you to be overcharged with fees. So that would be a discrepancy. There's also discrepancy claim types for, reimbursements and refunds to customers. Let's say that they said that they were going to return the item, and instead of sending you back plug converters, they send you back a stapler. Okay, yes, they sent something, but it wasn't my product, and I had to refund them. So anything that's different between what should have happened and what actually happened is considered a discrepancy.
Nice, very nice. How often should, let's say, an Amazon seller check his account, his or her account for discrepancies? How often should we look there to see if Jeff made some money for his golf course or for his yacht?
No, this is a super good question. We get this all the time too. I recommend if a seller is going to be doing this process manually, at least once or twice a week. And there's a few reasons for that. So the majority of claim types have a claim expiration window of 18 months. And because of this, Getida actually starts with an 18-month look back to get sellers as much as we can from the last year and a half. But then we do a daily audit moving forward. And the reason for the daily audit is because your claim windows are expiring every single day. So if there is a weights and dimensions issue, for example, that only has a 3-month reimbursement window. So if you're only checking for your discrepancies quarterly, there's potentially a lot of money that you've missed out on. And also filing the claim and working through this claims process with Amazon takes some time. They're going to request some documentation. There may be back and forth with verbiage. And sometimes seller support isn't always the most descriptive in what they're looking for. They'll just say, this isn't right. And it's like, okay, well, what would you like me to fix? It isn't right. They just don't give you any more. So it takes some time and it takes some patience. And sometimes our sellers have to go back and get additional documentation, reword a couple of things. So my recommendation is always to check your inventory for discrepancies every 1 to 2 weeks so that you don't miss out on those claim windows expiring. And that way too, you can catch, like I said, with weights and dimensions, you can catch earlier on the mischarge of fees so that you're not overcharged moving forward either. So it's both reactive and preventative. So I recommend at least every week or two. Some will say every month. My personal recommendation is to stay on top of it as much as possible.
Yeah, definitely. And from this reimbursement perspective, how do I know that I'm due for a reimbursement, for example, with Amazon? How is that available to the Amazon sellers?
So there's multiple places on your Seller Central account that you can check various reports that you can run. We've actually published a number of these videos on our YouTube channel about how to file, for these claims. But we'll
make sure to add here the
a link to our YouTube. Thank you.
Definitely.
And also on our YouTube, you guys be sure to check out Marcel's interview on PrimeTalk, where you get to hear his story and how intelliRank came to be. It is a very wonderful story. Please check it out.
Thank you for having me. Yeah.
Oh, of course. It was so much fun. But as far as how do you know if you're due a reimbursement? If there's a discrepancy, you're due a reimbursement. And there's going to be instances where Amazon doesn't reimburse the claim. But through Getida, we have the highest reimbursement rate of over 90% success, which sellers may not find, independently, depending on, the verbiage, the documentation, things that they have. But if there's a discrepancy, you're due a reimbursement. And for the question of how often does this happen? Constantly. It happens constantly because anywhere between 1% to 3% of a seller's annual inventory is impacted by a discrepancy. So then that's true regardless of the size of seller that you are. So we find this true of $1 million sellers and of $10 million sellers. It's also true regardless of the geography. We find this true across all of the North American markets and the European markets, including the UK. So 1% to 3% is going to be impacted. And so it's important to regularly audit your account for these discrepancies, file those claims quickly because you are due back money. If you're selling on Amazon, if you're selling through FBA, you're due back money, in my opinion. You just are.
Yeah. So it's important, but especially with the cash flow and everything, doesn't matter, like Lisa said, doesn't matter how big or small of a seller you are, you're definitely talking about your money in the end. So you should chase the money, definitely. Yeah. But that's something that you can do on your own, or how does Getida do it? Do you have like an automation process there that can ease up this process for the sellers, or is there an easy way to do things? Because
So
myself, I don't have time to do this every, let's say, 1 or 2 weeks. We're
yeah.
busy.
And most sellers don't, especially the bigger that you get. If you start running 100, 200, 300 SKUs, my goodness, the time it would take to audit that, you'd just be chasing your tail all day long, not be able to get anything else done. So yes, what Getida does is we have a dashboard, which is essentially a one-stop for all of your reimbursements. And our technology has a direct API integration into your Seller Central account. So we have full visibility on all of your data, including previously filed claims. So we can see everything that's happened on your account, everything going on now. And once we identify a discrepancy that requires a claim be filed, we actually have a team of claims specialists. So it's within Amazon's terms of service that the claims can't be filed through automation. You can use technology to detect the discrepancy all day long, but it has to be filed by an actual person. So we have a team of over 80 claim specialists that used to actually work in Amazon's claims and reimbursements departments. So that's part of our secret sauce as well. Not so secret, but it's part of our program and
Yeah.
part of our methodology. So it's both. So we have this technology that connects directly into the seller's account so we can see everything again in near real time. It gives us that access to 18 months back worth of data. And again, I would love to go back further and help sellers get more money, but Amazon won't let us go back any further than 18 months because that's the longest claim window, like I mentioned before. So 18 months back, daily audit moving forward. And it's both the technology and the experience of our people that are filing these for you.
Oh, that's great. So it's an actual do-it-for-you service. Getida has the tools to automatically discover the possible reimbursements. And then the team from Getida again will create the claims. So it's everything hands-free from my side.
Yeah, exactly. And we actually have an expansion on that service that is even more done for you. So Getida has some patented technology called DocMaster. And I guess let me back up. There are certain situations in which Amazon is going to request documentation from sellers, either proof of purchase or proof of delivery. And what Getida has done is developed this DocMaster technology, which is again patented, which is a tool that enables sellers to create a packing slip within their Getida dashboard that satisfies Amazon's request for proof of purchase, which is also known as proof of inventory ownership. So when you identify these shipments that have reimbursements that require documentation, you can actually create that packing slip within our platform and just file through and autofill your logo, signature, etc. The system will pull the shipment data each time, and through a few clicks, you submit that documentation, and that helps those claims get filed much more quickly. And what we've just rolled out is DocMaster Pro, which is a done-for-you service where for zero additional charge, Getida will file those documents for you. We'll go through the process of the clicks and create those packing slips and send them on through. So, and all of the features on our dashboard are included in our recovery rate. So this is probably another question coming up, and I'll go ahead and answer it now. So Getida is a pay per recovery service. So we only get paid when the seller gets paid. So when I talk about the weights and dimensions tool, when I talk about the claims team, DocMaster and DocMaster Pro, it's all included in our pay per recovery rate, which is just a percentage of what the seller is reimbursed by Amazon. So there's no membership fee, no subscription, no sign-on fee. It is only when you are reimbursed that we send you an invoice, and that's it.
That's brilliant. So it means that you can definitely do your magic there, and whenever I get money from Amazon, I get my money back. That Getida is working hard to identify, track, and get back to me. That's when Getida gets the payment, right?
Correct.
Actually, I get invoiced. Yeah. So just to simplify things, that's incredible. No need to pay a monthly fee or anything like that. Yeah,
exactly.
That would be strange depending on how many SKUs has everyone. So it's a very good process. I love it. So basically, you mentioned that you can go back up to 18 months. So that's the maximum that we can reach out in terms of, let's say, the history with Amazon in terms of reimbursements. By looking at it, I feel that we should get at least involved with Getida, or just to get things rolling as soon as possible. Because the more you wait, the more that 18 months, moves away from the present moment. So Yeah,
exactly.
I find that like a very intriguing and very decisive decision in my head to
Mhm.
definitely get the board and get more information on this.
Yeah.
And yeah, Lisa, it's great. What you guys are doing is really great, and I love it from my perspective that you can get some things off my shoulder and take care of them. Of course,
Yeah.
for let's say, I think Getida is working percentage wise or
Correct.
in terms of the actual payment. So based on the amounts that you're getting back, you're getting a small percentage out of that, right? It's something like
Correct.
that.
Correct. So we operate off of a flat fee. So our base rate is 25%. Of course, if you are a much larger seller or if you work with our sales team, you could potentially negotiate a lower rate, but the base rate's 25%. And I want to make a point about the 18-month back. I like how you said the longer you wait, things are closing. A question that I always get from sellers, or what I will hear them say to us at shows, is, well, I'll come back to you after I've been selling for longer. No, don't wait. You don't need 18 months of data or selling history for us to do this. If you start selling today, start looking for these discrepancies and filing for your reimbursements today. If you've been selling for a year and haven't done anything, hop on it right now, because like I said, these claim windows are expiring. And why not make your business more profitable from the jump so that you can reinvest in it and have that capital and either get more inventory or spend more on your PPC or improve your product photography, get a better photographer, upgrade from the iPhone. You know what I mean? So like, why not do that from the very beginning? There's zero reason to wait to do this. So you don't have to have selling history to do this. You just have to be selling and start looking for it. That's it. So I
Yeah,
always like to make that point. But yes,
that's
Getida
very
is pay
important.
per recovery. We do charge a percentage. It is 25%. And to make it clear as well, we don't touch your money from Amazon. The seller is reimbursed directly into their Seller Central account, and then you'll receive an invoice from us after the fact. It's not like we're going to grab your money, take our percentage, and give it back. There's zero
Mhm.
change of hands with that. It goes directly to you, and then you get a bill.
All right. I do have two additional questions that are
Yeah.
popping up into my head. So the first one would be related to the actual reimbursements that Amazon finds on its own. How
Yeah.
are those treated? Those are a separate topic and they're handled by Amazon and they're not under, let's say, the Getida mechanism, or Getida identifies those as well?
Yeah, great question. So there are instances, and this is a common point of miseducation that I hear from sellers as well, which is, well, Amazon's already emailing me about my reimbursements. Why do I need a service? And the answer is because that's nowhere near all of your reimbursements that you're due. So think about it. If Amazon had to go back and was double checking all of their work, they'd be chasing their own tail all day long, and it would totally kill their efficiency. 2-day delivery would absolutely disappear because it doesn't behoove them to go after every single potential error. They would never get anything done. But there are situations in which they find a discrepancy on their own and they will reach out to the seller, make good on their promise in their program, and reimburse you. The problem is sellers think that that's all that they're due, and they are not. So through our technology, we're able to see when the seller is reimbursed by Amazon, like I said, any previously reimbursed claims. If there is a claim that a seller is reimbursed by Amazon and Getida, it was not through Getida's effort, you're not going to be billed for that. And another question we get a lot of times too is, well, what if Getida gets me reimbursed? So if Getida files a claim, I'm reimbursed, I pay Getida, and then later on Amazon decides to reverse that decision and they pull that reimbursement back out of my account. What happens? Well, Getida is going to refund you for our fee then. We only get paid when you get paid. So essentially, if that payment didn't happen, we're going to give you your money back. That's the only way to make that right. So I hope that answers your question.
Yeah, it's definitely the best answer, yeah, out there. So it's very important. So I understand, and everyone understands that whatever Amazon has been doing and is doing on its own, it's on that side. What we're looking at here that Getida is doing very, very well is to go the extra mile and look further away, like doing a very good housekeeping or bookkeeping or actually inventory keeping,
Yeah.
just so you don't miss out. Because I remember when I started, I was looking like all the small indicators, all the small numbers, and I was looking like 1,000 units sent and 998 received, and I was looking like 2 units. Okay, not a big deal, probably.
Yeah.
But
But
you add up to that, whenever you're
yes.
sending more and more units, that's your money. That's the seller. You should claim everything around that. Yeah.
Exactly. It's your money. It's your product. It's what you've invested in it. And that's what's really great about their program is Amazon could just reimburse you for the COGS, for that cost of goods sold, for what it cost you to produce the item. So if you're selling it for $20 on the platform and your FBA fees, let's say for that category, are $5, so it's essentially 15 would be what your reimbursement is. They could just give you 5 that you paid to make the product, but no, they're going to give you that 15 back, and that's your money, you guys. Like, take it, get it. It's yours to have. Like,
don't buy Jeff a beer or something. Or
yeah, he's got it. They're fine.
It, yeah, okay. Brilliant, super nice. Okay, Lisa, I think I don't have any more questions from my side, but I think this has been really insightful. And is there anything else that we didn't touch point on that you'd like to mention?
No, I don't think so. I just want to give another plug for your episode on the PrimeTalk podcast. So Getida has 2 shows, PrimeTalk and Sellernomics, where we like to feature and speak with our partners and other wonderful service providers in the space to help sellers grow. We'll also be at shows in the near future. We're always at different conferences. So check out and see if maybe you can meet us in real life. I always love talking to sellers at shows and at dinners and parties. But I also want to offer for your listeners a discount on Getida's service. So we have a partnership with intelliRank. So if you guys will visit Getida.com/intelliRank400, you'll receive your first 400 in FBA reimbursements free. So if the first 400 that you get reimbursed when you sign up through that landing page, you will not receive a bill from us. So that is Getida.com/intelliRank400 there on the screen. I love it. And I think that's all that I have to mention. If you guys have questions for me, email me at lisa@getida.com or just visit us at getida.com. I think that's it.
All right. So also all the comments here in the description or in the comment field below will definitely be answered by either someone from intelliRank if it's related to us, or I'll reach out to Lisa to help us with a great answer. And yeah, we'll definitely make sure to answer all the questions that pop out of it. And yeah. Lisa, it's been incredible. I'm really thankful, and it's a pleasure and a privilege to have you here. And I'm looking forward to meeting you live again in the next, I don't know, the near future.
I know. I can't wait to see you again in person. You're so much taller than I expected you to be. I was shocked when I met you. I was like, oh my goodness, hello.
We have a saying in Romania, if you're staying a lot in the rain, you're going to grow. So I probably spend a lot of time outside.
That is so funny. I have spent no time in the rain then. But thank you so much for having me. This was an absolute joy. I really hope that your listeners got a lot of information from this. And again, you guys reach out with any questions, but this has been fabulous. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, Lisa. And thank you, everyone, for more great episodes. We'll wait for you here on the YouTube channel and all the social media. And yeah, feel free to reach out to intelliRank, to Getida, to ask questions. We're here to help. So giving back to the world is what we love to do. Thank you. And yeah, thank you. Thank you, Lisa. And take care, everyone.